Hall of Fame selection process, planning of the ceremony, and follow-up to make the next year better. So that being said, I know firsthand the tremendous amount of work, the organization, and attention to detail that is involved to bringing a weekend such as this together. Please join me in a very big round of applause. Congratulations to fellow inductees. It's an honor in itself to be going into the Hall of Fame, but to be going in with an inaugural class of the inductees of the athletes that I grew up knowing, hearing about, reading about, as well as coaches that I played for, just takes it to a whole nother level. I was fortunate to play for Coach Flip all 4 years, and I have to say he was tough. He had extremely high standards for us both on and off the court. And looking back now, the never-ending line drills, mastering the full court press, and the relentless defensive drills, and those brutal wall sits. They were routine at every practice, and I feel contributed to building the foundation of my running career. Coach Kevin Boyd for highlighting my accomplishments and nominating me for induction to the committee. Thanks, Coach Boyd. I want to thank and recognize my family. My brother Dave, his wife Marge, and my nephew Taylor, who drove in from Nashville. My sister Julie was unable to be here. She's in the horse business, so it's pretty hard to leave stable of horses for an extended period of time. My crazy Aunt Ree and fun, Aunt Ree over here. She's the fun one of the family. Always encouraging and supportive, and her friend Butch is also here. My best friend and companion, Chris. He came into my life about 5 years ago. Now, he's an accomplished drummer, always in a band ever since we've been together, and he's usually the one up on stage in the spotlight, so it's kind of nice not to be the roadie tonight. Loves of my life, Lexi and Gunther, could you please stand up, my kids? My daughter Alexis, 9th grade. Last year, she started making her mark in track and field. She finished 4th in the junior high state meet in high jump. I'm not even allowed to say the D word, which is short for distance. Doesn't want anything to do with distance running or cross country, but she's holding her own, so I think she's going to have great things. And also plays volleyball. And my son Gunther, he's my little football player, so if you guys can give him any tips, I appreciate it. He plays linebacker and fullback, so he plays both sides of the ball. I'd also like to take a moment and recognize Mr. and Mrs. Hahn. I was fortunate enough to be the recipient of the Brenda Ray Hahn Memorial Scholarship. And when you receive that scholarship, you become a part of their family. And actually, Mr. Hahn introduced himself as grandpa to my kids tonight, so thank you both very much. All right, I need to recognize my mom. As many of you know, growing up in Brookfield, it's a working class town. It's challenging. Well, my mom took that challenge to a whole new level. She instilled a work ethic in me and my brother and sister that has carried us through life, and it will continue to do so in the future. We all have different personalities and different motivations. Well, my motivation in particular is that if someone tells me I can't do something, I come back 10 times harder and prove them wrong. She knows where this is going. I remember coming home in middle school, all excited. Mom, I'm going to play basketball. She looked at me and her response was, you're too little to play basketball. You're too short. Like I said, I played 4 years for Coach Flip. And my daughter also pointed out my short stature last night. She's like, Mom, you were the shortest inductee out on the court. Thanks, Lex. Then when I was in high school, Coach Taylor resurrected the track team, and also, as he said, started the cross-country team. Again, I came home all excited, announced to Mom, Mom, I'm going to run the mile and 2 mile. Her response, you can't run that far. Your legs are too short. Well, these short legs earned me a scholarship to Kent State. I obtained my college degree. It allowed me to work in a profession that I love and to sustain me through the adversity that life often brings, such as the unexpected loss of my teammates, my father, and my daughter. None of this would have been possible had it not been for the love and support and constant encouragement from my mom. She provided that never-ending support throughout my high school and college careers, and now in life. She was my #1 fan. She became my self-proclaimed nutritionist, so you can thank her for my diet coach. I think our routine was bean casserole for lunch and spaghetti dinner at least 2 nights prior, because the proteins had to break down in enough time to store in your muscles. So she was on that. The morning of meats was always French toast, little extra carbs before going in, and plenty of water and electrolyte replenishment drinks. And here was the kicker: fruit baskets at Easter instead of chocolate bunnies. Now, if that isn't support and dedication, I don't know what is. No matter where I was in a race, whether it be track, cross country, or a summer road race, I could hear her cheering over everybody. And a lot of times, Mom, those cheers is what pulled me through the finish line. She's the best and still is. I love you, Mom, and this honor's for you as well.
You did it yourself.
See? Coach Taylor. I consider Coach, and have referred to him many times, as my second dad. Coach saw potential in me as a runner way before I even knew what running distance meant and what it was all about. You just ran. How hard could it be? He was Coach Flip's assistant and was also running marathons, as he said. Remember one year we went to Westminster basketball camp as a team. And one of the things we had to do during that camp was run around a lake, which was about a mile. Well, I ran it in about 6 minutes, a little over. And I think that was the spark that he needed to get the wheels turning. Coach, I think we've logged at least a couple thousand miles together, easily, literally, and I'm sure he still has the training logs to prove that. While in high school, he ran every workout with me. We trained together over the summer months and when I was home on college breaks. We ran road races together, and we even did our traditional morning runs on Christmas and Thanksgiving. We ran in the hottest of days, the coldest of days, and what the story he referred to as getting caught in the rain. I think the reason the lady pulled over is because it was lightning as well. But when you're miles from home, there's not much you can do but put your head down and keep on running. We would sometimes run before school, as well as after, and during basketball season, after practice, we'd go out and run some more. Distance running, as you can see, is all about mileage. Our long runs sometimes started in Brookfield, but it was not uncommon to cross over into Hubbard, Vienna, down into Masury, and even into Sharon. Just stop for a minute and think about running up West Side Hill instead of driving. Not a pretty picture, and I'm glad we only did that course a couple times. On January 19th, in a basketball game versus East Palestine, it was my senior year, I suffered a season-ending injury that put me in a full-length cast. My first thought in that locker room before even going to the hospital was the upcoming track season. How was I going to be ready? I thought all my chances at an athletic scholarship were gone. And again, needless to say, it was devastating. After 4 weeks in a full-length cast, I convinced the doctor to take the cast off and place me in a removable leg stabilizer so I could start to do pool workouts to get ready for the upcoming season. He x-rayed my knee, saw it was starting to heal okay, and he agreed. Yeah. For the next 4 weeks, I was over at Avalon Inn in their swimming pool, doing laps, treading water, and whatever else Coach and I could think of to prepare for my final track season. That was the first and only year that I qualified for the state meet and Coach told you what the result was. That year, after I sat and thought about everything that I had gone through, that we had gone through, I proved to myself that you can overcome adversity if you put your mind to it and have the support and guidance of others. As you can see, Coach T was much more than a coach. He was a trusted friend, a mentor, and an extension of my family. He kept tabs on me in the classroom and in life. And when I needed to be redirected, he made sure I got back on track. We all lose our ways from time to time, especially at that age. But having the guidance and coaches around us like we do here at Brookfield makes all the difference. Coach, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for everything. In closing, I would like to recognize some individuals who are no longer with us, who have been very instrumental in shaping my life. My grandfather, Joseph, passed away when I was about 12 or 13, and I think this is where my mom gets it. My grandma had one of those houses that you could run laps in, okay, just circular. And every time we would come by him, we'd walk real fast, but then when we hit the one side of the house where he didn't think he could see us, we'd take off. And he always yelled at me constantly, stop running, stop running. My grandmother, Julia, my dad, Dave, who passed away about 8 years ago, and my daughter, Trinity. I miss and think about them very often, but like I said, are very instrumental in who I am today and the decisions I make along the way. Although they are not here this evening in body, I know they are here in loving spirit. Thank you so much for this honor. I'll cherish this evening for many years to come, and good luck to all the future athletes out here. Thank you.